Ray Kurzweil has been creating and predicting the future even before he appeared on TV's I've Got a Secret.
From New York, here is I've Got a Secret, starring Steve Allen.
At age 17, he had designed and built the computer that composed the piece he played. It's no secret. Ray went on to become the world's foremost expert in designing machines that understand written and spoken language. So many of Kurzweil's predictions about artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and the health and well-being of the human species have proven true. Called the restless genius by the Wall Street Journal and the ultimate thinking machine by Forbes magazine, he was selected as one of the top entrepreneurs by Inc. magazine, which described him as the rightful heir to Thomas Edison. Ray was the principal inventor of the first CCD flatbed scanner, the first OmniFont optical character recognition, the first print-to-speech reading machine for the blind, the first text-to-speech synthesizer, and the first commercially marketed large vocabulary speech recognition. Do you hear this grand piano? It's not one at all. It's actually Ray's music synthesizer, which was, at Stevie Wonder's request, produced as the first music synthesizer to recreate orchestral instruments with such lifelike fidelity. Ray received the 2015 Technical Grammy Award for outstanding achievements in the field of music technology. He is the recipient of the National Medal of Technology. He was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, holds 21 honorary doctorates, and has been honored by 3 US presidents. And he is the recipient of the $500,000 Lemelson MIT Prize, the world's largest monetary prize for innovation. Kurzweil is the leading proponent of singularity, the provocative idea that artificial intelligence will soon surpass human general intelligence, and that people and machines will merge and overcome cancer, diseases of cellular aging, and perhaps even death. He is the author of 5 national bestsellers, including The Age of Spiritual Machines and The Singularity is Near, and he is co-founder and chancellor of Singularity University. Machine intelligence is Ray Kurzweil's chosen field, but he is a natural genius, and now I'm proud to say a Liberty Science Center genius.
Ray, would you like to join us on stage? For your 50 years of inventions and your vision of a future that is better for all of us, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Liberty Science Center's Distinguished 2017 Genius Award.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, George.
Well, I've got,
Okay.
I came with my own microphone.
You can sit if that's easier.
Well, it's a great honor, particularly this beautiful and inspiring institution. I was thinking about what I've done that's smart in my life, and it's really pretty much the same list that Mark Raybert shared with you, but I'll put my own spin on it. A smart thing I did when I was 5 is I decided to become an inventor. And I like to say I retired when I was 5 because I decided I would just do what I really wanted to do, and I've kind of stuck with that for half a century. I'm going to come back to actually how I made that decision in a moment. The second smart thing I did was actually a magic trick, not quite at the level of David Blaine, but I magically produced a marriage proposal from a fortune cookie. That was 43 years ago, and that worked out well. My lovely and inspiring wife is Sonia is here, and we produced a couple of magic tricks together, Ethan and Amy, one of whom is sitting over there. And I have to give my wife more credit than myself for this, because she's a child psychologist, and so somehow these kids turned out to be quite wonderful. I'll put in a little family plug. My daughter just wrote and published a book, Flying Couch, which tells the story of 3 generations of women in her family. So I'm particularly honored to get this prize, for one thing, because of this institution. It celebrates the philosophy of education I believe in, which is learn by doing. And that's something we try to do, for example, at Singularity University, but that's really practiced here. And this institution is inspiring hundreds of thousands of children who will grow up and create genius inventions of the future. It's also an honor to get this award with my co-honorees this evening. Mark Raybird has started a very inspiring, I think the most inspiring, robotics company. It also practices something I believe in, which is to learn artificial intelligence from natural intelligence, to learn from the natural world, from humans, and that's what the Boston Dynamics robots do. And I'm particularly inspired to get this award with Katherine Johnson. She, of course, was a major contributor to our space program, but most importantly, she's an inspiration to young people. And I think it's very important to have role models for girls to go into STEM. That's a major national issue. We need to attract more female scientists and mathematicians. And that's something that's actually been very meaningful to my own family, because my family was very involved in this issue. My mother's mother's mother, in 1868, started the first school in Europe that provided higher education for girls, along with her family. This was in Vienna. If you were lucky enough to get an education at all as a girl in Europe in the mid-19th century, it went through 9th grade. The Sternschule, which she and her family started, went through 14th grade. It was very controversial. I mean, why would you want to do that? And she went around Europe lecturing about that. Her daughter became the first woman in Europe to get a PhD in chemistry, took over the school. Between the two women, they ran the school for 70 years and then abandoned it when they fled Europe and Hitler in the summer of 1938. And I said I would come back to my decision to become an inventor. She wrote a book about her life and the school called One Life Is Not Enough, and she wrote it on a mechanical typewriter. And when I was 5, she showed me this typewriter. And this was a magical machine. You could actually take a blank piece of paper and turn it into something that looked like it came from a book. That was amazing. And unlike parlor magic that loses its magic if you reveal how it works, I could actually see how it works and it was still magical. And that inspired me to become an inventor. And I then went through the neighborhood and gathered little gadgets, and I had this idea, if I could just figure out how to put these things together, I could solve any problem. Well, it took a few years for me to actually solve any real problems, but I was actually inspired by this pioneering female scientist, so it's particularly inspiring to get this award with another very inspiring female scientist. So thank you very much. I think that inspiring young people to solve problems is the right approach. I think we can solve every problem in the world if we just find the right idea, and that idea is out there. And we need to tell young people and also everyone, you can find that idea, and when you find it, you need to implement it. Thank you very much.